Hola, senor, senoritas, and others. Colin.
Gary,
And our guest.
I'm worried about how you fit into this high-tech environment that we're in. Greetings and salutations.
Oh, you with us, are you?
I woke up. Race fans, motorsport enthusiasts, and you others, you know who you are. Welcome to episode, Gary, 64
Correct.
of Waved Yellow.
Yeah.
It's Wednesday, it's 6 o'clock. We've got the rich and the famous with us.
Mr. Shrosbree.
Ian Shrosbree.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Welcome, thank you for having me.
Ian is king of the hill, the man of Jaguar Samoa hill climb, and we're going to delve a little bit into what is now the 10th anniversary of your event.
Coming up, yep, absolutely.
That's pretty cool to do that.
Very much so, yeah. It's when we started, everyone said we've got no chance of doing more than one, or doing the first one even, and here we are. So it's been quite a good journey, quite a fun journey.
Now, we were talking a little bit before we walked into the studio. Guys, this is like serious stuff. There's lights, there's cameras, there's...
I forgot he's blind, he can't
There's
see.
an audience. We've got a screen at the back here, and I was going to wear a green shirt just for the hell of it. But hey, there's a green screen, so this is just a technology overload. Gary?
Technology.
But there's a monitor over there, there's
Okay.
a thing over there, and... Right, so what happened last weekend? We were at Swartkorps for, what is it, the Festival of Speed? With the G&H
Passion of Speed, correct.
Gotta be passionate. It was the G&H Transport Extreme
Supercar, round one.
Was it round one or
Was round one.
this week it's round two?
Two.
This way too?
Yeah.
Or this way too?
Anyone you want, you can like this too.
This way.
If you're going to carry on like that, I'm just going to say hi to everybody. Brendan, Marion Landman, Ian Shrosbree, welcome to you guys. Greg Charman, all the way from bitterly cold England. Is it cold there, Brew? Send us a message. And
How's Brexit going?
yeah, yeah. Are you guys in or out? And this is not a political thing. We just want to know yes, in or out.
It's a family show.
Is it? So Brexit doesn't count.
Right, so there was some really good racing, qualifying in the rain, and quite interesting to see who backed themselves and who had the confidence not to qualify and decided to save equipment. And in some ways, Gary, I've got to respect the guys parking some cars. The GT3 cars, everybody's looking forward to the 9-hour in November at Kyalami, and hoping that, first of all, you've got to have a car that's eligible to run in it.
Correct.
So the proper GT3 cars that are here, I'm thinking Aston Martin, I'm thinking McLaren, they decided not to have a go in the rain. One of the reasons was that the rain was just a little bit heavier than light rain.
Yeah.
And the turn, what's it? 1, 2,
4 and going up into 3.
3 is the one, the fast sweep where you're just hooking another gear in
And
the
you
middle
get
of it, there's a
that
bump and a puddle and
you get
stuff.
that puddle that steams onto the track.
It's been such a long time that I've driven around a track, hint, hint, you know who I'm talking to. It would be really cool to take that car for a test drive. But
I have no idea what he's talking about, guys.
I've almost forgotten about it. So, but then come the race, and you had the Scribantes on pole position, and the guys at the back, Simon Murray was there, and Gavin Conrier in the McLaren. They started getting really anxious, and going into that first corner, 4 abreast, there was nudging and bumping, and that was damn exciting. Anyway, it turned out to be a great race. One of the things I really liked about the rain was that the what do you call it? The spray.
Yeah.
You could see how the spray was interacting with the aerodynamics on the body. So that was really cool to watch. So McLaren winning their first race with the world-class racing team. That was fantastic. Some other guys getting confused about ABS. There was some pathetic driving in the historic racing series, because it was you had the historic cars there as well, and one would think that when there's a whole lot of fancy cars with lots of heritage, that one would not try and drive 10 tenths or 11 tenths all the time. So that was that. Then we also, for those of you who are lucky to have fibre and, what do you call it, unlimited bandwidth, we watched Bathurst.
The unobtainium side of life.
4 o'clock in the morning they start. So it's an early start, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, because it's a 12-hour race. Remember, kids, maths and science is important. English is
More
not
important,
that important. No, maths is important to her than English, Gary. So that was actually fantastic. And the Van der Lindes, one of the Van der Lindes, with Garth Tander and Fred Vavish, they were there. They were really there until a pit stop, and then Australia's finest put it up the back of another car, so that destroyed the one side of the
Unfortunately,
thing.
5 hours in, and that was the end of the
And
race.
then Fred Vavish decided to drive it into a wall. So, Kelvin, you came out of that thing with your reputation intact. You learned from last year, you drove the wheels off the car. It was absolutely fantastic. That qualifying lap that he did, got it in turn one a little bit, lost half an odd second. But the rest of the lap was magic. You watched it.
I watched it. I recovered.
No, I mean, you've been sitting here quietly, thanks, Ross, for I mean, it's
difficult to get a word in on him, isn't it? No, Calvin did well to recover that. I think he ended up 0.2 off, and he lost, I reckon, at least 0.4, maybe 0.5. So the second half of the lap, he did exceptionally well.
And in the top 6, I think there are 5 different manufacturers at the end.
That's right.
How was that passing maneuver? Because for those of our Chinese friends, Happy New Year. It's the year of the porker. So this is Porsche's year. So Porsche goes and wins Bathurst. That passing move on the inside, just shoved it up the inside there, a bit of nudge. Love it.
But not only
Absolutely
that,
love it.
not only that, one of the South Africans managed to come in 8th place in that Bentley. It was Jordan Pepper. Did a fantastic job. Team bring it up in 8th place. The guys had a fantastic run, and
apart from Andy Suchek, who found the kill switch.
correct. And well, these
Gary,
things
it's actually not that dwarf, because the steering wheel, it's that butterfly type steering wheel, so there's no, and if you have a look at where the position of the buttons are, to the pit lane speed limiter, you've got to reach over the kill switch.
yeah,
to push the pit
and it's
lane
very
speed
easy
limit.
to kill it.
Well, if your thumbs are a bit
Thumbed, yeah.
and you can look, thumbs are thumbs. So I can understand it. I have sympathy for him. His team had no sympathy, which was kind of understandable. And it's a bit embarrassing when you.
I mean, not only once you can sort of understand, but to do it twice. That was.
It might have been very interesting, because I think the guy on the radio has a certain responsibility as well to talk drivers through things.
You see, here's a driver. You can see he's making excuses for another driver.
Well, damn straight.
The engineer
Because
would tell you something else.
no, the guy on the radio, he should be coaching him. Remember, you've got XYZ, pit lane speed limiter. It's the top left red button, and maybe you just heard red button. Anyway, we don't know.
He's
so,
a professional.
but
He
it's-
should know which buttons to push.
Well,
That's my view anyway.
You take the wrong side. Drivers are always right.
Right, so just
Jerry,
while we're
moving
there, yeah, we're moving on. Just while we're there, we're talking about international boys, the boys that are doing international stuff. Young Sheldon has flattered wings, left the nest, and he's in Germany at the moment, or about to arrive.
Sheldon van der Linde
Yeah.
with the BMW
DTM drive.
DTM team.
Yeah.
Have you seen how massive the wing is on that thing? It's like ginormous. So
Just while we've got all these guests online, anybody out there know whether Aberdeen's deal is finalised, or anybody just put a note in there?
hey, Adrian, is it?
And whether he's in Germany or is he still in South Africa? Because if he's in South Africa and we're in Cape Town next weekend, we would catch him.
or we can talk to his dad as well.
That's your job.
Adrian Aberdeen, give us a call. We want to talk to you.
Do you know about this name, Adrian Aberdeen?
No, no.
No, come on. Family show,
They
don't
say-
go there. Don't
They
go there.
say.
They say.
Production told me that
Yes.
this is because we've got a historical and a research department. So our historian went back into the archives and came back with some interesting facts about Adrian Aberdeen. Back in the day of touring cars, but we won't go
No.
there for now. We'll save that for another
Yeah.
one. Where we are going to go.
Was that
Yeah.
the Onnies that came out? By any chance? Okay, say no more.
I didn't get to that part. Our historian has to, she
Verify.
hasn't written the full story.
Script, okay. Giving you a teaser. That's all.
Well, strange you should mention that. There you go. You broke the story.
And you know nothing about it.
So anyway,
Busted.
That's how it
Christopher,
started,
it's his
That's
problem.
how it
It's his
started.
problem.
Gary,
This weekend we're off to Kaapstad. To all you guys down there
the place with a half a mountain.
for part 2 of the Passion of Speed and the round 2 of GNH Extreme
GNH what?
Transport Extreme Supercars.
What do GNH Transport do again, Gary?
They run
They're
the
the
biggest
world's-
explosive transporters on the continent of Africa.
Well, it's not quite explosive because that's the object is not to make them explode. Because you haven't done a good job when your load goes bang. Well, unless you work in a certain place. So that's Cape Town this weekend.
Yep.
Looking forward to it. Haven't been there for a
Yeah.
long time. Are we allowed to bath there or have a shower?
I don't know. All those guys in Cape Town, is the water cool? Because Colin hasn't had a shower for 3
Have you
days. His
managed
water's
to
off
put
at
out the
home.
fires as well? I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's another world. Oh, and how is the secession plan going for the Republic of Cape Town? Because I think that could be pretty cool. You need to find a political party to lead you. I'll come and volunteer. Shroz, you, 10th year, Jaguar Somalia Hill Climb, in your wildest dreams, did you have a goal that it was going to get to 10 years?
well, we did. The first year, obviously not. We thought, let's throw it out there and see what happens.
What was, just before we go there, what was the idea? How did you
Yeah, so the idea
Dream
was
it.
really just 2008 financial crisis. Knysna's economy was based on construction and tourism. And with the crisis, they both just dried up. So a friend of mine was involved with construction, and we all petrolheads. He knew I'd been involved with the event organisation before. Came and said, what can we do motorsport-wise to try and help the economy and bring people to town. And he'd been working up Somalia, and he said, that Somalia Hill would be quite a cool hill climb. So we said, and it just developed from there. So it was really purely to just try and bring people to Knysna.
So it was his construction vehicles that have messed up the edge of the road.
No, that was all the fast cars going off there.
Yeah, well, exactly. But remember, it is a hill climb. It's not a track. So people have said you must retard, you must do this, but it's a hill climb. So the bumps are part of a hill climb. No rough edges are part of a hill climb. So that's part of it. So that was the reason. So we said, okay, let's do it. And I managed to get Sorrel to come to the first one, and he won it, which was PR we couldn't buy. So that put it on the map. And the first year we got 46 entries. So it showed there some legs. The people in town, we thought we'd get maybe a few hundred people, and about 1,500 people arrived. So we said, okay, it's got legs. So we sat down after that and we said, okay, what are our goals to it? We said, well, let's make it the South African Goodwood of speed and try and build it to have some international legs even. So we set out a very clear plan, what our goals were, what our vision was, and what we wanted to achieve with it. And we've worked towards that, So we've ticked most of those boxes. Now our next goal is to make it the third most known hill climb in the planet. So after Pikes Peak and after Goodwood, we'd like Knysna to be the next best known hill climb.
And from an entry point of view, first of all, it's the beginning of May.
Yeah, always the first weekend in May. We kind of get the same philosophy as like the Durban July.
Yeah.
The Durban July is always the first week of July, first weekend. And the hill climb's the same, so people can plan. If they want to come in 5 years' time, they know when it's going to be. It just makes it very simple for everybody. So we don't have to every year look at the calendar and say, when we're going to do it. First weekend.
And
of May.
the weekend starts on the Wednesday where you go and move little white balls with sticks.
Thursday. The golf's on the Thursday.
Oh, Thursday,
Yeah,
okay.
and the same time as that's on the Classic Car Parade Friday is in town on Friday. But we call in our Fan Fest area. So the cars get scrutineered, they go on display, and then they do a burnout and parade in the streets there. So,
Historic cars do burnout.
yeah,
No,
do.
they're classic.
Just all, don't you ask?
Yeah, the guys give it horns.
And-
Absolutely.
What is the cutoff year? The cutoff year for a car to be classic?
1990 now. So we've pushed it
Oh,
up
so
over
you buckled
years.
a bit.
Yeah, it used to be 1975, but there are more of those cars that are around, and so we've stretched it a little bit. Up to 1990 we have cars.
So this is actually a Knysna hill climb or Somalia hill climb classification for classics. It's not like the register goes.
Yeah, we make
Okay.
our own rules. Yeah, we beat our own.
No, because
Okay, so-
we've always got some crazy guys online that know better, you know?
Yeah, no, our philosophy is we're about putting on a show for the public, and that's our whole driving thing. So we want competitors to have fun, but at the end of the day, if it's not entertaining for the public, they're not going to come. So every year we have to put on a new movie. I always use that analogy. We don't show the same movie year after year. So that's why we mix and match cars. Some guys get upset. They come one year, they don't get accepted the next year. But as I say, if we have the same cars every year, it's not going to be fun. So we make our own rules that we think will provide a good entertainment.
Yeah.
I believe, do we be pedantic about rules? And there's some lovely cars that sit in a garage because we've been
true.
We've been pedantic about the rules. So
You nearly said a word.
nearly slipped. Nearly slipped.
You're allowed to drop the odd one.
Okay.
No, make sure he's got his wallet on him, because you know what happens? You drop the odd one, you put the cash on the table.
I've got 5 cents here.
No, but hold on. He's
Cheapskate.
He's got a car. Well, most.
Most
Right,
of us
so
are
hold on, hold on.
cheapskates.
So the rules, yeah?
Yeah, so the rules are flexible. We've tweaked them over time. Based on, look, we always listen to what people say. We take in feedback, we analyse it, we say, is it a good thing, a bad thing? So that's why we've changed like the year that we do. We've tweaked the categories over time. But we want to, if there's a good car and it doesn't, and it's had modifications over time, well, the guy in the stands doesn't know. They just want to see a good car go up the hill. So that's our philosophy.
And it's not really an event that you apply to enter and then you get invited.
Yeah, it's kind of become that. And again, just that allows us to be able to put on the best show. That it's not first come first serve or anything like that. So we call for invitations. Pretty much Park Speak do it the same way. Goodwood's also invitational, and it's not that we want to be exclusive because we give a range of cars. It's just we want to look at. We've got a number of criteria. We look at what's going to put on the best show for the public. And
So
for
have you
the
limited
viewers
the
out.
number of four-wheel drive Datsun with 27,000 horsepower to go up there?
We do. So we don't accept everyone.
Have you accepted Richard Rutz?
No, who's he?
Oh, he's our
Sorry, Reggie.
friend of the dogs, the Flying Dutchman, a reigning champion.
Any friend of the dogs, that's almost a guaranteed entry. Not quite, but if you'd love
can see
animals like
Reggie,
I do,
He's a good man there. Yeah.
No, Reggie's a great guy. So we look at it. We look at factors like the cars, the drivers, how many are in that class. If there's one car in a class, we don't run the class unless it's a super special car. Let's say a Formula One car or something. But
What's
and the crowd
what's
wants to see
the
'em.
specialist car that you've got entered this year? No, there might be 3 because you know how guys get upset.
Reveal
If they-
too much at this time of who's been accepted, and the entry list is not final quite yet. We've closed the entries, but not all the funds been accepted yet. So I'll keep that for another day if you invite me onto your show. But we've got some nice stuff.
Do you
We've
think
got
we
a
could,
nice-
Gary? I mean,
got
but
a
you've got
nice
to give
mix.
us no. I don't know. That's not right. We need something. You've got to just lift up and a
Okay,
peak.
you haven't put parameters. So an old Cooper Formula 2 car in Classic Car Friday.
I said special.
It's a great history. It's a lovely car. You see, you're a tin top guy. I'm a single seater guy, so it's very special.
No, I really do like tin tops, ground effect cars, but ground effect up there is not so lekker. It's a little bit bumpy. You've got to have a proper hill climb car, and I think that a lot of guys are building and developing cars with one race in mind.
It has become like that. I mean, obviously, our golden rule is it must be fun for everybody. So it must be fun for the competitors, must be fun for the spectators, fun for the organisers, fun for the sponsors, and fun for everybody. And that's what our philosophy has been the whole time. And we understand, obviously, people are competitive. I mean, we all, those of us that race, we get competitive.
Mm-hmm.
But a consequence of that has been that people are starting to either import or build specialist cars for the hill climb. It's become a title that they want to win. And
Is there somebody that you've banned?
we've
Or somebody who's on the... You've got 2 lists.
We've got a blacklist.
We'll allow
We've
these...
got a blacklist.
So who's... Give us the name of the
No, no,
blacklist.
no.
Come on!
So we had one particular guy, and he never applied again. But there's a bit of a blacklist, and
So what did he do to get onto this blacklist?
he was just very irritating for everybody. He abused some officials, and we don't like that, and abused some organisers. And
But sometimes officials deserve what the drivers
I
shout at.
mean, you can be upset, but you have to still keep it a little bit in, especially at an event like ours. If you're competing for a championship and there's $1 million at stake and you've spent $5 million on a car, and
But this is
I
glory.
understand. And when I raced, I also had a few run-ins with officials, but my golden rule: treat people with respect, no matter who they are.
A few run-ins.
And it's very many. No, so it's only when they accused me of jump starts and I knew I didn't jump the start. But I'm so
Nobody ever admits to jumping a star.
but anyway, so as I say, it's meant to be fun for everybody. So if people overstep the mark, if they want to protest the results, we don't invite them back. And that's why we've avoided. I've had many people say, just make it a part of a championship. Why don't you create a Your Club championship? And that's when the politics and the nonsense starts.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not interested in that. That's why we make our own rules.
And you can
We try
invite people
help
and
We
uninvite
can
them.
invite people, and exactly, and then because everybody, it must be fun for all of us. So and within that, be competitive, but just keep a bit of a lid on it, and let's say
Being a single seat driver, do you know Nino Venturi?
absolutely. How's it, Nino? Are you watching?
Yeah, he's watching.
Yeah,
he says, I must just let you know he's
Yeah,
watching.
Absolutely. It means
Everybody knows Nina.
So Nino prepared my Formula Ford cars when I was
Now imagine
racing,
if he
so we
could
raced together for
imagine
years.
if he could put his track on a hill.
Well, I'll tell you, his track's brilliant, and it distresses me people don't go there more often.
Yeah.
It's,
That's Midval
Nino's,
track.
You can't beat passion.
Nino's done
You can't beat Nino for passion and
That's
what
true,
he's put
that's
into
true.
the sport. Very few people, I think, have put what he's put into the sport. And whoever's watching, go and support him. Go and practice. It's the safest track in the world. I take my kids there. They play all day and they have a ball, and it's safe. And so it's quite sad that he doesn't get enough races from MSA and that. And guys go practice there, but they don't only race there. It's crazy.
Would that
We-
be the MSA calendar?
We don't do politics.
No,
we don't do
it's not
politics.
politics,
No.
but I think that somebody at MSA needs to know
See,
what a
now you
calendar
got him
is
going.
and how to schedule stuff. Because how
Okay, he's
the
going to be in this
hell
for now. Let's
can
go
you
and have a
put-
coffee.
How the hell can you put an off-road South African cross-country series race and a South African endurance series race on at the same time? Pow! Guys, it's quite simple. You put all the important races on weekends where they don't clash. It's easy. Next time, get a school teacher. I used to be married to a school teacher. I lived with Danger for a long time. Then she told me to leave. Get a school teacher who knows how to work out a timetable. They'll help you and everybody will be happy. Oh, I feel good.
You got that off your chest.
For today.
Okay.
For today, yeah.
For now.
This 10th anniversary, can people expect something special about it? Is it going to be some sort of alternative entertainment, things like that? Or is it just similar to what you've done with some exciting cars and exciting drivers, that sort of thing?
So we always, our whole philosophy of the event is make it better every year.
Okay.
And as with everything, we want to do a few special things. We want to create a lot more hype and fun. But that's also part of a longer term strategy. So obviously, budget's always a budget thing. We'd love to bring in Jeremy Clarkson and whatever else and make a big
Why?
dance about it. Well, just throwing names around. Maybe not Tim, but whoever.
You want to throw your name in the pot quickly?
So we, we've got some ideas, to around the 10th, and we do what we can. But the bigger picture is, as events worldwide, and we follow the trends quite closely, is to make it a whole festival going forward, a weekend festival. So not the Hill Climb's always core, but to add other elements to make it a jewel. And we started that with a fan fest area down in town, and we give that a vibe. And so it's quite cool because people don't have to pay for it; they come and see the cars between burnouts and so on. We've got a few things planned, and we'll see what we can do. But we don't ever lose focus, obviously, on the track stuff.
Yeah.
But we'll try and make it a good party for everybody and to come and have some fun.
We touched on attendances at race meetings, sort of alluded to it a little bit earlier. And I think that part of people going to a racetrack just to watch motor cars is, time's a little bit precious, and so it's a day's entertainment. So there's some racing and some, you look at any of the popular, like Bathurst, they have all sorts of fairgrounds and fun grounds and parties, and there's similar kind of thing that you go. And what sort of crowds do you expect?
Yeah, so just going back on that a little bit, Lamar's been doing it for ages with the Ferris wheel. You know, look at Grand Prix, Texas, Singapore. They have big name music artists playing. They have this festival, and the current people want a festival. They want experiences, you know.
Yeah.
And so it's not just about the racing. So the racing is always core, and we've worked very hard on that for many years to make it a family entertainment. And that starts with ticket prices, to price of food that you can buy, to everything. Because affordability is obviously important. So we have the high-end hospitality. We have the guys who, you know, just can afford to come in. So we've kept it cheap. I always say, when we do our planning and costing, think of a family of 4 or 5 and what the day or the weekend's going to cost them. Because it's easy to say, well, one ticket price, $100, not a lot. But if you bring in 4 people with you and 2 days, and
What is the ticket price?
So it's $120, and
For the weekend?
No, per day. If you buy a weekend ticket, there are various discounts. But you know, 8 hours entertainment. You know, but we monitor everything carefully. So that's the first element, and we get families coming. So wives are not petrol heads, but they enjoy the experience to come. So that's the first part of it. The second part. What was the second part of your question? I don't remember.
What's the fastest car that's entered?
Well, last year was the gold with 100%.
Yeah.
35 seconds. Standing start to the top, average speed 193 k's an hour.
That's quick.
So they pull in 250, 280 up there.
I have
So
a
I'm
question-
getting these traces. We'll put in the program and see of G-forces, braking points, all that kind of
I
thing.
have
We
a
haven't done that before.
question for you. He's going to put a slightly larger fuel tank in so he can come down the hill.
No, you mentioned that. Yeah, it's downhill second free wheel, but he's lucky because he doesn't have to do the loop. So one of the nice things about the hill climb is we have the loop system, unlike almost every other hill climb. So that allows us to shoot cars off at every 20 seconds, you know. So that really keeps entertainment and the hype going the whole way through. So it's
Let's just talk about the program. So Friday is Classic Car Friday. Those are all the cars up to 1980.
yeah.
And then in the town, I was about to say the city, but it's
No,
not.
definitely not a city.
In the village. In the village, the guys are going through the scrutineering with the King of the Hill cars.
Correct, yeah.
And then Saturday is King of the Hill heats,
Yeah,
and through to the top 20 shootout.
correct.
On
Top 10 of
Saturday.
each then. So yeah, exactly that. So Sunday we have a few qualifying rounds in the morning, and then it goes into the class finals where the top 3 shoot out, and then the production cars or supercar King of the Hill. So we've split that over the years. There used to just be one King of the Hill, but when the single seaters, the quick cars started coming, we had to give everybody something to shoot for, because obviously. So first we split out the supercars, road going sports cars like the F-Type Jag or the GTR.
How road going does it have to be? Do they have to drive it to the
Yeah, it has to be road registered, and it has to be legal. If we spot, so we've also, to keep it simple, we've done almost self-scrutineering. We give half an hour before the day starts. If you know that car's illegal, tell us, and we'll deal with it. So if you know it's got a different exhaust or a different computer box, tell us. So there's a bit of self-regulation into it, just to make it easier, because we don't want to have hour-long strips afterwards and all that kind of nonsense. And we don't have the technology to track computer boxes and that, but you know, the industry is a small industry, so it works around. So if you know that car, or you think that car is illegal, tell us and we'll investigate. So we have 3 King of the Hill shootouts now. We have standard production cars, we have the modified saloons, and we have the single-seaters.
And what qualifies as a standard car? A proper standard
As I say,
car?
road legal, road tyres, standard car. No roll cages, no modifications.
Standard engine.
Standard engine, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Group N, like it used to be, Group N was standard engine, but with standard or...
Well, that's what we can't do, and we don't want to police. So yes, it has to comply to standard. But as I say, that's where the self-regulation comes in on that one to try and do it. So I mean, you can cheat, sure, but I mean, it's like the same thing. If you know you've won cheating, well, good luck to you. I mean, it's not in my nature and my culture.
So that car basically falls into the lines of where Jaguar is going to put the 2 Cronje brothers into.
Yeah, exactly. So they'll go up against Reggie in the GTR.
Oh, okay.
That's going to be interesting. So you've got the Ginger and the other Cronje,
Mark.
Simon Murray's. Yeah, Mark. And Mark's probably the most popular race car driver in South Africa, because on all the cars with data logging and telemetry, they've got a button that's got Mark on it. And that's essentially, you, as Simon Murray told us, you press the Mark button when you want to phone Mark with an idea of how to go faster and pass other people on the track. So Mark
did you-
Grenier and
why
Gavin
didn't you answer
Grenier-
your phone over the weekend?
Mark and Gavin up against each other in Jaguar cars,
Yeah.
supplied by Jaguar. So there's going to be a whole lot of hype there.
That's cool.
Who do you think will win that? Okay, we're not.
I'm going with the guy I know very well, which is Gavin.
ginger.
Unfortunately, don't know Mark's way. So you rate for Mark and I'll rate for Gavin. How's it?
Oh well, okay. Yeah, all right. There you go. So you Team Gavin, I'll be Team Mark. Mark, if you don't win them. All right, so that's against Reggie. So now we
Gavin, don't press the Mark
so
button.
it started out with we didn't have any idea of entries.
Yeah.
We now know 4
Yes.
because we've got the Gould,
Yes.
we've got
Oh, the good was last year,
Dutchy,
remember?
and no, but you said he's going again this year. And
Did I?
Yeah, you said this year it'll be okay.
Yeah. You did? Because I said, is he putting a bigger fuel tank on? He said, no. So that doesn't...
I said he can freewheel down the hill. Doesn't mean he's
Okay, and then the 2 Jags.
Yes.
And then on the modified, so in the modified, anything goes really.
anything goes, yeah.
And I believe there are a few electric. Have you got an electric class?
We've got electric class we've had for this will be the 3rd year of electric
Yeah,
stroke
but-
hybrid.
But they didn't. Nobody brought a proper electric car last year.
Yes.
Yeah,
No, they had the
brought from Japan.
little
Yeah, they
Nissan
brought
Leaf
one from
electric
Japan.
car.
Yeah.
Full electric.
Yeah.
Serious?
How many seconds did it take? More than a minute.
No, it didn't, not more than a minute.
Okay, 59 seconds.
But still, I mean, it was like anything starts small and it's toe in the water and, I mean,
As the actress said to the fish. Right, so you got electric class, and do they? How many cars you got entered for the electrics
I
now?
can't remember.
And have you got proper charging stations sorted for the electric cars?
I don't know at this point because
Surely
these
that's
guys that
up
are in the country don't work, so I don't know if we need any.
No, they do.
Do they?
No, they work
Oh,
properly.
okay. Well, is Eskom going to be on strike or not? That's the other question.
No, they've solved that. The tenders have been awarded, so now they don't have to strike anymore. Guys, we
didn't
need
bribe
to.
anyone, so-
So, first week of May, is there anything that you want to that we haven't covered about the Jaguar Samola Hill Climb?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think it's a fun event, and to people watching if they haven't been, it's an experience worth coming to. I think, and obviously I'm going to try to sell it, but it really is. You can speak to others who have been or haven't been, it's come and have some fun. Really, that's what it's about. If you enjoy motorsport and you enjoy having a party and you enjoy everything else, just it's a good weekend away. You know?
Yeah.
And Knysna is a great destination. I think that's also been part of the success of it is, you come and it's a nice place to go to. So the wives like coming along. Motorsport normally it's to get away from the wives. Sorry, I didn't say that. But Knysna, the wives come along with and the kids.
I've got one of those. What do they do?
Danger, didn't you say her name was Danger?
Yeah, just before you go off, young Stewie White has joined us.
Yeah, youngest.
Yeah, and he's, by the way, he's the youngest winner of the Jaguar Samola Hill Climb. I think at around about the age of
13?
no,
That was 2 years ago.
no, it was 2017.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, because that's the first one
So
he
he was
entered,
at
and
least
he was running. I think he ran in a Formula Reynolds car.
Volkswagen. I think Formula Volkswagen that year, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
Yeah, that's,
Or was
yeah.
it Formula Ford? Might have been
There's
it
quite
might
a
have been
science
Ford.
about going up the hill, but we'll get into that because we still haven't got. Have our legal department sorted out the contracts for us to go, Gary? Has our legal department got hold of you and you signed it off?
No, I'm waiting for the check from them. When I get
No,
the check
it's
from
the other
them,
way around. They'll send the bank.
Why? Listen, if we're sitting in numero uno, why do we need a legal department? We live. We're all over Facebook.
No,
He's either going to say yes or no, and
The
then
plan is that Gary and I will be in Knysna to have an interesting look at some of the fast cars.
going to put cameras where cameras have never gone on cars before.
Oh, Gary, that's a big one, eh?
That's a big one.
That's a big one. What else is coming up next week? Cape Town?
Cape Town, and then after that, it's a bit of a quiet chill in South Africa for a while, and then we start with the National Series on the 2nd of March,
Yeah.
which is going down to Desi Raceway, which is the GDCs, the single-seaters and the Investcam Formula 1600, the new Polo Cups with their fancy new sponsor, Falcon Tire Polo Cups.
What tires are those, Gary?
Falcon, Falken, just for those who are watching. And
Who
then,
makes them, Gary?
and then the new Superbike, South African Superbike Series also on that weekend.
And then the weekend after that, it's 2 national series.
No, the 26th, which is towards the end of March.
Well, that's a weekend. I mean, we're talking Cape Town time. Right. Episode 64, Ian Shrosbree, king of the hill, the main man, what counts, the big wheel, the head honcho, the king of Knysna for 3 days. Thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule in sorting out the finer details of this event. We look forward to seeing you.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, me too.
And good luck.
I'll accept your invitation, request for invitation.
Well, I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for that phone call around about a month to 45 days before event. Can we come and do waved yellow from the hill? Oh, that'll be so awesome.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Let me get,
that's on a
and
Wednesday.
we get the two Cormier brothers to come along with a bicycle. They can get training to give us the power to power the system, in case Eskom hasn't installed yet.
Or we can just get an iPace and run the whole thing off it. Because the advantage of an electric car, Gary, I'm a huge fan of electric cars. For a number of reasons. Instant power, they go faster, they're cooler. There are one or two little issues. Like, for instance, do you know that one mechanic cannot work on an electric car on his own? You
Why
have
does it,
to have-
does it need that earth buddy?
Yes. And this oak has basically got a broomstick with a hook on it.
To pull him out when the...
In case, because electric cars are dangerous, all
Yeah.
right? So, and they're also super fast. So if you go the whole hog and you put solar panels and stuff on the roof, and you go to work and you plug your car in, and you ever run out of electricity at home, you just plug the car in and run the house off the car.
The car.
Real story. And in the Jag iPace,
Yes?
somebody said our research department did some brilliant work. And a research lady said to me that you can actually drive from Joburg to Durban, and Durban to Cape Town, and if one wants to go drive to Cape Town back to Joburg. And there's super fast chargers all over the place. It's awesome. And of course, Jag comes with you get a discount if you charge there. Here's a secret: if you've got a car, find any BMW charger, fast charger. I think there's only about 3 in the country.
Yes, you're digging again.
No, you can, and no matter what electric car you got, you can plug it in and charge for free.
From BMW.
Yeah.
Well, that's a big up for BMW.
Yeah, I think it's
If you live,
fantastic.
if you live in Four Ways, where the fart clubs
You
are.
have to drive a long way to get to them. Right. Just on that, sorry, before we go on, I need to go. Is with the electric in and earth in and the two people, we have to have special briefing with the marshals. We get all information up front. So from our point of view, hosting electric cars also has a couple of challenges.
Yeah, no, it's a big deal. Right, guys, thank you very much for joining us. Episode 64 draws to an end. We will talk to you from the land of the Half Mountain on Friday morning for this round 2 of the G&H Transport Extreme Supercars. Be safe, be tidy, be careful.
Mr. Ian Shrosbree, thank you very much for joining us. Great having you
Thanks, Gary.
on our
Lovely to
show.
be here.
Thanks,
Thank
Ian.
you very much. Thanks.
Thanks for
Colin,
accepting
Gary.
our invite.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Have a
See you on
good
the
one.
wild side.
Bye.
Okay, we're off.